Commander Sarah Chen stood in the pristine white chamber of the Galactic Council's enforcement station, her hands clasped behind her back as the tribunal's decision echoed through the vast hall. The three-headed Valkorian judge's middle cranium spoke with mechanical precision. The human delegation will surrender all kinetic, energy, chemical, and biological weapons immediately. Your species' propensity for violence ends today. Around the chamber, representatives from dozens of civilizations nodded their approval, some with appendages, others with bioluminescent patches that pulsed agreement. The ethereal collective's gaseous form shimmered with satisfaction, while the crystal and Vorth clinked their approval in harmonic resonance. Sarah's jaw tightened, but she maintained diplomatic composure. Honored Tribunal, humanity has been a peaceful member of this council for 37 cycles. Our weapons are purely defensive. Defensive? The Saurian ambassador's tail lashed behind him as he interrupted. Your species conquered your own homeworld through warfare. You turned fusion energy into bombs before you learned to heal genetic diseases. No other council species developed weapons before medicine. The tribunal's left head continued. Archaeological evidence from Earth shows continuous warfare spanning millennia. Stone axes, bronze swords, gunpowder, nuclear fission. Your entire evolution is marked by increasingly efficient methods of destruction. Therefore, concluded the right head, humanity shall be disarmed completely. Compliance teams will visit all human colonies within 7 solar cycles. Sarah felt her chest tighten. 3 centuries of human expansion. Dozens of thriving colonies, all protected by their modest but effective defense fleets. What if we refuse? The middle head's photoreceptors dimmed. Then humanity will be expelled from council protection. The devourer swarms beyond the rim show particular interest in worlds with complex protein structures. A month later, the first reports arrived at Earth's Strategic Command. The Zephyrian raiders had struck Kepler 442b, expecting the usual laser defenses and particle shields they'd encountered from other human colonies. What they found instead defied their tactical algorithms. Lieutenant Marcus Webb crouched behind the collapsed wall of New Geneva's administrative center, his squad spread in perfect formation around him. The Zephyrian shock troops advanced with their standard energy rifles, their chitinous armor gleaming under the alien sun. Remember, Webb whispered into his comm, council observers are watching. No weapons means no weapons. Sergeant Rodriguez grinned, flexing her fingers. Good thing they never specified what constitutes a weapon. The Zephyrians moved with overconfidence, their sensors detecting no energy signatures, no projectile systems, no chemical explosives. Their commander clicked satisfaction through his mandibles as they approached the human settlement. Then Webb gave the signal. Rodriguez launched herself from cover with explosive speed, her enhanced muscles, legal cybernetic augmentations for industrial purposes, propelling her faster than Zephyrian reflexes could track. Her fist connected with the lead raider's thorax with the force of a kinetic round, the impact sending him flying backward into his squadmates. Private Kim followed milliseconds later, her martial arts training, cultural preservation. The council had approved it, allowing her to disarm 2 raiders with precise nerve strikes before they could raise their weapons. The energy rifles clattered uselessly to the ground. Across the settlement, similar scenes unfolded. Humans who had trained as emergency medical responders used pressure point knowledge to incapacitate invaders. Athletic competitors employed wrestling techniques that left Zephyrian warriors gasping. Construction workers wielded their reinforced exoskeletons, purely for heavy lifting, of course, to tear through alien armor like foil. The Zephyrian commander's confusion was palpable as his force crumbled around him. These humans had no weapons, yet they fought with devastating effectiveness. His tactical subroutines had no protocols for enemies who used their own bodies as weapon systems. Webb appeared before him like a ghost, moving with the fluid grace of someone who had spent years in zero-gravity, recreational activities. His hands moved in a complex pattern, sign language, a legitimate form of communication, and the commander found himself disoriented, his compound eyes unable to track the hypnotic motions. "You came expecting soldiers," Webb said calmly, his hands still moving in seemingly innocent gestures that somehow disrupted the Zephyrians' neural pathways. "But we're just citizens protecting our home." The raider collapsed, his nervous system overwhelmed by what human researchers had discovered was a peculiar, vulnerability in Zephyrian neurology completely. By accident during xenobiological cultural exchange studies, naturally. Within hours, the surviving raiders fled in disorder. Their reports to the Zephyrian High Command dismissed as impossible. Unarmed primitives defeating trained shock troops? Absurd, but word spread. The Rigelian Syndicate attempted to claim the mining rights to Proxima Centauri III, confident that disarmed humans posed no threat. They retreated after encountering colonists who had perfected therapeutic massage techniques that could paralyze their silicon-based anatomy. The Void Hunters tried to harvest the population of Wolf 359C, only to discover that human firefighters could generate chemical reactions using nothing but common household materials reactions that produce clouds of compounds, particularly toxic to their methane-based biology. Sarah stood once again before the Galactic Council. But this time the atmosphere was different. The tribunal's three heads conferred in rapid whispers, while representatives from across the galaxy watched with obvious unease. The council acknowledges, the middle head finally spoke, that humanity has technically complied with the disarmament decree. No weapons have been detected on any human world. However, the left head continued, casualty reports from various incidents suggest that unarmed humans are somehow more dangerous than armed ones. Sarah maintained her innocent expression. Honored Tribunal, we are simply exercising our rights to cultural expression, physical fitness, scientific research, and self-defense through lawful means. The Saurian ambassador's tail twitched nervously. Cultural expression doesn't typically result in broken bones and psychological trauma. Perhaps, Sarah replied, other species should consider the cultural context before initiating unprovoked attacks on human settlements. The ethereal collective's form flickered with uncertainty. The reports describe humans moving with impossible speed, generating toxic compounds from harmless materials, and wielding knowledge of anatomy as weapons. How is this not militarization? Sarah smiled. We are a curious species, honored representatives. We study medicine to understand life, chemistry to comprehend matter, physics to grasp motion, psychology to know minds. That this knowledge can be applied defensively is simply practical education. The right head of the tribunal dimmed its photoreceptors. Are you suggesting that all human knowledge is potentially weaponizable? We're suggesting, Sarah replied, that when you remove our tools, you discover that we ourselves are the most dangerous tool we possess. A long silence filled the chamber. Finally, the middle head spoke. The council hereby reverses its disarmament decree. Humans may retain their weapons. As Sarah walked from the chamber, she heard the Void Hunter representative whisper to his aide, make a note. Never attack anything that has already disarmed itself voluntarily. Behind her, the tribunal's three heads conferred once more. They had learned something about humanity that day. Take away their weapons and you discover that they never truly needed them in the first place.